45. This was a major level. So what was interesting here is that we actually had this is a level that had been holding since sort of the whole of November, right? So it got created on the 31st of October and price held as demand, right? If you go back to the order flow, you can see this. Price held as demand, price then held as supply, price continued to hold as supply, price held as supply, right? So throughout the whole of November, we see this as a reactive area, right? Usually just typically an area of supply, area of demand, area of demand. Then we had this big sell-off on the 13th of November. So coming into this area again was interesting for me, just from like a trading perspective, right? Just from a reaction perspective. So when we come back to this key level, right? This is a key level in the markets. If we break above, then our next key level was 68.80, right? That was one scenario here. However, if we can sustain this level and see lower prices, we're going to be heading back down to Tuesday's level, right? So, sorry, Wednesday's level in the PM. So this is now 6,800, another key level in November. Now, 6,800 was also critical because we had the big sell-off here, we had another big sell-off here, and then we had a demand zone over here. So we see a switch from demand to supply, and then demand, right? So this is how I generally look at any market, right? I look for areas of supply zones, right? Flips from supply to demand. So I just want to go into reading the order flow in this region. So this was a little bit late in the day, so I don't really trade after 11 a.m. Eastern. So this was about 11:30 to probably 3 p.m., right? So this was a choppy